What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Cowboys family here on YouTube. Guys, we have a special roundtable tonight. Some of the best right here in Cowboys Nation. We have, of course, ourselves here, my Cowboys family and fiance, but our special guests, guys, Dallas Cowboy Football News right here, man. Introduce yourself. Say, what's up?
What's going on, you guys? Dallas Cowboy Football News. Thank you so much, my Cowboys family, for hosting this bad boy right here. Let's get into it, baby.
Yeah, all right. Next up on the docket, Space Cowboys 17, brother. How you doing? Much love, guys. Tell them real quick a shout out.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's Space Cowboys 17. Welcome back. Thank you so much for having me on this roundtable. I can't wait to get started on this one.
Yeah, this is going to be good, guys. Now we got, you know who he is, LL in the house, Cowboys Legend 27. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What up, YouTube? LL coming at you. In this one, you guys already know what time it is, man. I'm over here with the homies right now, and we're about to do this draft talk. Thank you for inviting me on this panel, sir.
Yes, sir. DJ Crown J's on the way, guys. As soon as I told him, as soon as he's ready, he can jump in here. Make sure you subscribe up to him at Fifth Quarter Cowboys. That's his brand new channel. Check it out. It's got a lot of great stuff. And the rest of these guys as well, subscribe up to Dallas Cowboy Football News. Subscribe up to Space Cowboys 17. And subscribe up to Cowboys Legends 27. Cowboys Legend 27. Subscribe to all of them and DJ Crown J, guys. Hope you've done that here. Hit that like for the stream. And we appreciate all you guys who are joining in. We're going to get your questions later. But let's kick this thing off, guys. This is a draft roundtable. All right. We're going to break this thing down. Top 3 rounds. We're going to focus on that first. All right. And we're going to get right into it. All right, we're going to start off with Dallas Cowboy Football News. All right, and what we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to drop my 2 cents after everybody goes. We're going to get about 3 minutes each or less, all right? Just discuss what you see the Cowboys doing and what you want to see the Cowboys do with that number 1 19th round pick. We can trade it. We can move it around, give us some scenarios. So ready? We're going to start right with you, DJ. I mean, the Dallas Cowboy Football News. Hit us up. Let us know what you think.
I'm looking at those people right there. I'm looking at them. What are you doing? He said hit the like button already. Come on. Jeez. What are you waiting on? All right, guys. What's going on, man? All right, so the first round, I'm on the boat. I'm on the ship with my Cowboys family right here. Vita Vea in the first round. Cowboys really don't move around a lot. And who knows? Jerry Jones could move around with the draft being in his world, right? I mean, he's pretty much the big shot over there, and he might just make a splash for, for shits and giggles, excuse me. But you just never know. But Vita Vea, 19, I think that's a good pick. If Vea's gone, then Maurice Hurst from the Wolverines, Michigan. I like this guy, what this guy can bring, but I like Vita Vea's size in the middle, guys. 6'5", 340. Let me say that again. 6'5", 340. There's not enough tacos in Dallas to feed this man. And then the second round, go ahead and give me James Hurrens out of Louisville, guys. I love this guy. Standing at 6'2", 249 pounds with Damian Wilson, guys, struggling and taking bad angles. This guy is explosive, just hit you right in the mouth before you even know it, right? That's a good pick right there at 50. And then I got to go wide receiver right here. I'm trying to get somebody shipped out, whether it's Cole Beasley to save some money on the cap. Bye-bye, you drama queen, Bryce Butler, sorry-looking mother lover, right? DJ Moore out of Maryland, guys. Holy crap. He's 5'10", 215 pounds, just straight solid. Kind of underrated in my opinion, but I checked a lot of professionals. I don't consider myself a professional. I'm a professional. And they got him going to the 2, anywhere from the 2nd to the 4th round. I really don't have a lot of scenarios, guys. I mean, the Cowboys really haven't made a lot of changes in their draft order. I want to say since Travis Frederick. So they don't really move too much. I mean, they did move to get, Xavier Woods, later round picks, but the first 3 rounds, they pretty much stay fit.
All right, man. That's fantastic. Dallas Cowboy Football News, thank you for that. Now we're going to move over, and I like the Vita Vea thing. We're going to move over to Space Cowboys 17. Drop some knowledge for us, man. First 3 rounds.
Not a problem. So to start things off, I do mock drafts every week. And I dropped one today, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I did. So to start things off, I took Roquan Smith. I personally think that if this guy falls out of the top 10 and he's there, like say, for example, he's sitting there at 14, you go and trade up and get this guy. He is, in my opinion, the best linebacker prospect in this draft. And I feel that it's necessary that if he's there, I'm not saying if he's in the top 10, I'm saying if he falls out of the top 10, then you go up and get this guy. If not, and someone takes him, let's say 12 or 13, then I'm okay with just staying where we're at. Do I think you can trade down? Probably, but I don't think that anyone's willing to trade up in this draft. I don't think that there's that like surefire prospect that, hey, I'm going to trade up to 19 or 20 to get. So me personally, I think you get aggressive and you go get Roquan Smith. As for what you're giving up, I'm assuming you're probably going to have to move up to 12 or 13. So I would give up like swap firsts. You're probably going to have to throw in a 4th round pick. And I said a future 6th to sweeten the deal. But if you want to, you could throw in a player like Cole Beasley. And here's my reasoning for that. Because then in the 2nd round, there was a guy by the name of Christian Kirk that was there. So I definitely took him. I'm not saying that he will be there, but you definitely have to go receiver in this draft, whether that be here or in the 4th round. But that's completely different. And then in the 3rd round, I think you go tight end or safety in Deshaun Elliott or Mark Andrews, depending on who is there. So to recap my mock draft for today, it was Roquan Smith, Christian Kirk, and then Mark Andrews. So that's just my piece.
Man, no, loved it, man. You got a lot of the similar things. If Christian Kirk goes down to the 2nd round or somehow we move up for him, I mean, that would be amazing if we can get him in the 2nd round for sure. Now, LL in the house, Cowboys Legend 27, man. You are up. Are you ready to roll with this? Give us the first 3 rounds. You got 3 minutes, 3 rounds. Give us different scenarios, different things you want to see happen, but give us some realistic stuff. Give us some of your opinion stuff and see if you get in there under 3 minutes, bro. Hit us up.
Sounds good, man. Listen, you guys know I'm huge on the receiving core in this draft. We've talked about it enough. So, number 19 pick overall, first scenario, guys, we're trading down. Yes, I know that people, it's not a great, huge, it may not be a great pick right there for people to trade up to, but I do believe there's going to be somebody that just has to have somebody and that will trade up to give up something there. I think if the phone rings, we definitely trade down and we pick up either Maurice Hurst or Vita Vea. First pick overall, you guys. Yes, it's got to be the defensive side of the ball. I know I've said that I want Calvin Ridley, but I really don't think he's going to fall down to us, and even a higher doubt that Roquan Smith falls down to us. So I'm going to roll with Vita Vea or Maurice Hurst as the first pick overall, you guys. I'm not too happy about it. I'd much rather move down and get some depth, but I think that's the direction this team's going. Second pick overall, you guys, Will Hernandez. Yes, you guys, it's time to get our offensive line intact with our rotational pieces. I do love the move here. It's going to be the move. I feel like there's a couple offensive linemen here that really fit the bill, but Will Hernandez wants to be a Cowboy. He's dirty, he's nasty, and he's, a 3-down player. So we'll see what's up with him. That's my number 2 pick overall. Number 3, sliding down to the 3rd round, Michael Gallup out of Colorado State. You guys, we have to address the wide receiver position. He's a physical wide receiver. He gets the most production when he has a lot of attention on him, and I really think that he's going to be a supplemental piece to this offense that brings us great things with Ryan Switzer on the field as well. So them are my first 3 picks. This is my first mock draft, and so actually I'm just going to go Vita Vea to solidify it, Will Hernandez, and then we're gonna slide on down with Michael Gallup there as our first 3 picks. And yes, we're picking up Fleming in the free agency.
Man, loved it, man. Guys, you guys, all 3 of you guys hit on some major guys that I am also thinking about here on my Cowboys family. As far as what our opinions are on this, I know DJ's not in here yet. Hopefully he'll make it in time. But here's the deal, guys. You guys all hit on some great things. Now, here's the thing. Number 1 pick, 19th. I don't think we should move up unless there's a Roquan Smith. So Space Cowboy 17. I agree with you. If there's a Roquan Smith that drops into that 12, 13, 14 area, I think we can make a move for that. But if we don't, if Jerry Jones doesn't want to make a big splash and big D for this draft, I I don't think we go Calvin Ridley. I don't think we go Christian Kirk in the first round. And I know you guys haven't said that, but I think I would love to get Roquan Smith as a player. I don't believe that's going to happen. There's two names I'm looking at 19. All right, number one, and this has been touched on already by all you guys, Vita Vea at the defensive tackle spot. I mean, I know he's not the right technique for what we're using him for in our defense, but I do think that he will be an impact player. That's what you want at 19, an impact player. Someone's going to not be a fourth receiver, a third receiver, or a fourth linebacker. You want someone to impact. Roquan Smith's impact. Vita Vea is impact. Another guy I think is impact who could be there at 19, I think we might want to consider taking would be a Derwin James from Florida State, a safety. All right, I think that would be a great pickup for us to take care of that Jeff Heath, Kevon Frazier hole that we have back there in the secondary. Not sure exactly which safety he fits into, but I think he's a strong safety. I'm not sure, free safety. Either way, I think he's a very talented guy that could fit into our system. Now, second round, and again, this is assuming we're not moving. If I got to say this, if we do in a scenario situation, if those guys are not there, you trade down. I agree with LL on that. You trade down and you get yourself a Maurice Hurst. You get yourself a Daron Payne, defensive tackle. So we're still sticking with the Vita Vea kind of mindset with that inside defensive guy to help out Malik Collins and David Irving. We don't know how long both those guys are going to be with this team. So that's something we have to address, I think, in the first round and try to get as impact a player as possible. Then moving into if we move down, then we're going to I think we could get an extra pick in the third, an extra pick in the second. So let's say we move down, I say in the second round, whether we move down or let's just go with the first one, guys. I agree with LL with Will Hernandez. This guy wants to be a Cowboy. This guy is light on his feet. He plays left. He could play left guard. That fills a hole. And if we sign Jonathan Cooper, he'll be able to come in there as as a backup, but then eventually take over. So I love Will Hernandez. If he's gone and we're going offensive line, go with Isaiah Wynn from Georgia. Another guy who's a guard. He can play tackle as well. I don't really think we should rely on him. I think we need to get a veteran, as LL said about Fleming from New England. I think Austin Pasteur from the Falcons. He could be a guy we could look at. I also had another name here, Matt Tobin, formerly of Philly, then went to the Seattle Seahawks. He's also a free agent. I think we could fill in that backup spot with Tyron Smith. But I think that Isaiah Wynn could play that eventually in the future as well, if need be. So that's a second round. I do see a possibility of going with and I like this guy, Justin Reed, in the second round. Another guy. If we don't go Derwin James, safety in the second round, Justin Reed. He's a great player as far as what I've read up on him. I like the Mark Andrews thing. I don't know if he'll be there in the third round. But I like him. Second round, I think it's a little stretch because it's deep and tight end, so I think we can hold off on that. But then we move into the third round, and if there's possibly two picks. But I think if there's we go with one pick right now. We go with Vita Vea, let's say in the first round, and then we go with I'm trying to think if it's like a Will Hernandez. Okay, third round, I think I'd go without question. And I forgot who said it. Deshaun Elliott, guys, safety. Okay, yes, Space Cowboy said it. He's a great pickup at that position. That's another position of need. We need to solidify. This is perfect timing because we got a guy in here. As I wrap this up, guys, in the third round, another guy. I love the Michael Gallup pick by LL there, but I think it's a little early. We might be able to wait on him on a little bit. What's up, DJ? We're gonna get to you in a minute, bro. But I'm looking here. Another guy we might look into if we don't have a defensive tackle in the first two rounds, Trenton Thompson from Georgia. Look for him in the third round. Like I said, Deshaun Elliott would be my number one. And if you want to go tight end in the third round, like you said, Space Cowboy, Mark Andrews, a couple of guys said Mark Andrews would be a nice pickup there as well. So now, sorry, I went a little bit over my own rules there. Guys, DJ Crown J, here's the deal, DJ. First and foremost, I'm going to let you get full 4 minutes here, an extra minute because I took up a little bit of your time. But I want you to introduce yourself and, of course, give us your first 3 rounds in about 3 minutes, all right? Different scenarios, different picks you think you could squeeze in there. Roll with the DJ Crown J. Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Rock it.
Oh, I'm prepared for this.
I think we lost him out there for a second. DJ was in and out. It's all right. So guys,
I definitely wanted to put a list on prospects to watch as far as like what our needs are. This is a list I compiled from CBS. Mark Andrews, tight end from Oklahoma. This dude's 6'4", 250 pounds, known as a chain mover. Another guy that we're looking at is Dalton Reisner, offensive tackle. This dude did not give up a sack all season long, so he's
round would he be someone we go into? Like, what round would he be picked up?
I'm not looking at his ranking right now, but I will go look at his player rank. These are just prospects to write down and maybe check out. Hercules Matafa, defensive tackle, Washington State. This dude has been very productive as well, and they like him as a situational interior defender. So that's something to think about right there when we're talking about the interior defensive line. And last but not least, linebacker position, Sky Moore, linebacker is out of South Carolina. They're already talking about he'd be a wonderful complement to Sean Lee and Smith at the second level. So them are just some names to throw out there. You guys can maybe check out.
Yeah.
And do a little bit of research on, because them are names right now we haven't been talking about really, but could fall in our lap.
Those are definitely later round picks, and I like what you're saying. I like those names. I actually have Sky Moore on almost every single mock draft I have. I like that pick a lot. Now, what about you guys? What other later round picks do you think you could we could squeeze out there? As best to your knowledge when it comes to 4 through 7. LL just gave us a good about names right there. What do you guys think? Let's go with Dallas Cowboy football news. Break it down for us, man. What you got for us?
What's exactly your question here?
So now we out of the first 3 rounds. Let's go 4 through 7. More or less, and that doesn't be exact. Just give us some names that you like. Just the way like LL just give us a rundown of some names. Do you have any names in the later rounds? Anyone to look for?
Oh man, there's just so many. Come back to me real quick.
All right, Space Cowboy, you're up. I know you're ready.
Give me a sec. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Unmute myself. No, but I think that if you're sincerely not taking receiver in the first 2 rounds, in the first 3 rounds, excuse me, you should double down in the 4th round. You got Michael Gallup, you got Antonio Callaway. You have those 2 guys, and people want to be like, well, why would you double down on the same position? Well, we did it last year in the 2nd and 3rd round, and look how that turned out. And I think it would be perfect, because then what you're doing is you're getting 2 solid prospects.
Hold on. All right. Hold on. Hey, DJ. Here's what we're gonna do, man. When you're not on, make sure you mute the your little microphone there. But I don't want to break that up, Space Cowboy. But I want to kind of hold DJ. Oh, DJ's off again. There you go. All right. Either way, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Do what you're saying.
No, but as I was saying, like my whole thing is that you're either going to have to take a receiver early in either Calvin Ridley or Christian Kirk, or you're going to have to wait until the later rounds. And I wouldn't mind that. I mean, and I'm thinking, and because in my scenario, you had to trade up and get Roquan Smith. So I'm thinking you trade either Cole Beasley or Terrence Williams, and you can address, the leaving of Bryce Butler and what's his face? It's Bryce Butler and the Terrence Williams in terms of a trade through getting 2 receivers. So that's my logic and reasoning. There's another guy by the name of Andre Smith out of North Carolina. He looks like a very solid prospect to develop. So I would like to see us get him more so in the later round, like a 5th or 6th maybe. But yeah, I'm thinking you go double down in wide receiver late round.
I like it. I like that. I actually like that better than going earlier, in my opinion. But let's roll over to the world famous DJ Crown J and 5th Quarter Cowboys. Subscribed up to him. You can unmute yourself now, and now we're all going to mute. And I want you to tell us 1st, 2nd, 3rd round there, DJ. What do you think when it comes to those positions and different scenarios? Break that down for us, and then tell us 4 through 7. What do you think? Just some names, not to be exact, just some other names later in the draft. So let us know what you think, the DJ Crown J, as I mute myself and you unmute. Thank you for joining us, by the way. You're still muted. You're muted. There he goes. All right. I think he's good to go.
Oh, am I in now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're in now.
Okay.
We're going to mute, and you're going to go. Like I said, man, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Give us your a couple scenarios, some names, in all those 3 rounds, and then you can shoot off right into the 4th to 7. Just some names, some big names you want to talk about that you think we can get in the later rounds. So the floor is yours. I'm gonna give you like 5 minutes, man. So you go roll with it, man, and tell us where you're at. Shout yourself out, man. Much love, DJ Crown J, 5th Quarter Cowboys. Subscribe up to him, guys. Go ahead, man, DJ.
All right, man. Like I said, I'm not even prepared for this, but whatever. First round, I want to do Vita Vea like everybody else, Second round, I don't want to do receiver. I kind of want to do tight end second round. I remember watching Ohio State tight end. I don't know his name, Marcus something, Marcus Bog, something like that. But he like 6'5", like 258. He's a pretty good guy, man.
I know a lot of people say Mark Andrews there in that spot too as a tight end.
Okay, yeah, but either way it go, I want to go tight end second round.
Okay.
Offensive tackle. I want to do offensive tackle third round because I feel like the third round, like I feel like everybody in the all the teams, they really going like high power quarterbacks and receivers in this draft, man. So I think there's gonna be a lot of good I think there's gonna be a lot of good offensive tackles left. And I was looking at another guy from Ohio State, Jamarco Jones. He like 6'6", 310. He had a better season in 2016 than he did last year, but he's a good pass protector. I think he's better as a run blocker. He good, man. Very athletic, very strong guy, man. Jamarco Jones, check him out. Ohio State. And then 4th round, I do 4th round because, like I said, I wasn't prepared, so I just go to 4th round. 4th round, I want to do a receiver. Calvin Ridley's going to be gone, of course. Seminoles, even though I hate the Seminoles. Only reason I'm not saying I would take my favorite receiver or my favorite team, the Gators, Antonio Callaway, because I don't know. I can't trust him, man. He's been in a lot of trouble the last 2 years, and I feel like people say when you get money, you don't change. You just elevate who you already are. So I think Antonio Callaway with a lot of money, he's just going to be a bigger asshole. Pardon my language. But there's a guy for Florida State, Alden Tate, I think. He like 6'5", 225, man. Run like a 4.5. Pretty good guy. He's a pretty good guy. I think he was slightly injured last year. He only finished with 548 yards, but he's still pretty solid, man. So yeah, I do defensive tackle in the first, tight end in the second, offensive tackle in the third, and wide receiver in the 4th round.
I like it. All right, so that's good. We're good there. So guys, thank you for your input on that. Now we're gonna still move on to the later rounds. To Michael, you ready, or you wanna? We go LL. Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's roll with
now,
it.
to touch on what DJ said about Antonio Callaway of Florida, Cowboys took some knuckleheads, Randy Gregory being one of them. I can see the Cowboys doing an Antonio Callaway in the 4th or 5th round, or they don't have a 5th round pick, but maybe one of those conspicuous picks or whatever you call it.
We have 2 of the compensatory picks are in the 5th. Both of those in the 5th.
Yeah, so they could probably take a gamble on that one. Because Antonio Callaway is pretty worth it, in my opinion. And then another 4th round, and I'm thinking this guy can fall, is a James Washington at Oklahoma State. I wouldn't be surprised if he falls to a 4th round. I'm in love with this guy. I love me some James Washington out of Oklahoma State. Another guy, I don't know. I guess I'm just a Maryland fan. Cornerback J.C. Jackson. I think he can ball out and maybe just bring him in, see what he can do. Maybe a 6th round pick, something like that. Chad Thomas out of Miami, defensive end. That's another guy that I like. Maybe Kentarius Street, defensive tackle out of North Carolina State.
Yeah,
that's
like
another big name that I like. That defensive tackle. I mean, if we miss on Villa and we miss on the dude, I think this could be a steal right here. Maybe another Jay Ratliff. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Very cool. I like those names, man. You got a lot of the names I was going to talk about there. Thank you for that. Now let's move to LL Cowboyz Legend. Come on, man. Let us know what you think. Well, did you already let us know? Yeah, you let us know the names already. Yeah. So I think did we hit everybody?
Yeah, I let you know some names already, man. And as far as the tight end, I have people in my comment section screaming out Mark Andrews. Everybody's like, go look at Mark Andrews. He's a beast. He's worth it. I've been trying to look in to see where he would go at in the draft.
Second round for him.
Yeah,
second or third.
So for me, you guys understand how I feel about a wide receiver. DEZ Bryant is completely trash, and I feel like we have to upgrade.
Oh my God!
It's on.
Oh my God!
So I just had to, just express that real quick because we're gonna have to get a playmaking wide receiver because we literally don't have one anymore.
That's where I'm gonna come in now, because now that's where I say we get our receiver. And I don't know if you want to call him playmaking, but here's the thing: when you go into the 4th to 7th rounds, and I did a little bit of investigating on this. I got some good names for you guys, and some names you guys already brought up. But here's some names for you guys. How about for a receiver in the 4th round? How about Dante Pettis? You guys like him? What about in the 4th round getting someone like Michael Gallup? Like you said already, I think he can drop to the 4th. I know his stock is rising, but they're saying 4th round, and we have 3 picks in the 4th. There's a chance we can grab this guy. There's a couple other players you guys named already as far as receivers in those rounds, in that 4th round. I think that's a key place when we go for a receiver that can still make plays. That could be Dante Pettis has some speed, all right, and again, I want to envision him. Let's say he's like, and again, I know some of you guys don't like him, but imagine a Jarvis Landry rookie type gotten in the 4th round. Like a Dante Pettis, and that's what I kind of relate him to a little bit, like a Taylor Gabriel. We might not have to go after anyone like that if we get this guy in the 4th. Now, I mean, that's
Dante Pettis balled at Washington too. I like Dante. He balled. And
I'm telling you guys, I'm focusing on him in the 4th round, and I also am. LL talked about tight end. Another segue. I think the tight ends are very deep here. That doesn't sound good, but tight end.
Wow! Holy crap!
So here we go. I'm saying that I've always said Fumajelli. For me, he's the guy. 9 fingers. He's a Witten clone-ish kind of guy. Yes, he has 9 fingers, but he can catch. He can block. Look for him in the 4th. Here's another tight end for you guys. How about Mike Gesicki?
My boy from Penn State. I'm telling you.
Who is that? Mike Gesicki?
Mm-hmm. I like the guy.
Yeah, I think he's a 4th round tight end we can grab. That didn't sound good either.
Wow.
Hayden Hurst. How about that name, guys? 4th round tight end. Another possibility. So there's 3 tight ends in the 4th or late 4th or whatever. Somewhere in there, we can go with the tight end. Receiver, we go with Gallup. We go with Pettis. I like Pettis. I like Gallup, either one. So those are 2 out of our 3 4th round picks. Another 4th round pick. If he drops this far, there's a Jordan Whitehead, but he looks like he's going to go earlier. So I don't think we're going to be able to get him unless we do some kind of trade down thing. I think another name to look at in the 4th, and you want to go cornerback? How about Holton Hill? And I know he's got his issues, but he could be a 4th round steal. We also have Shaquem Griffin from UCF with no hand. We can go with 9 fingers, missing 1 finger. We can go with missing a hand. I'm down with that. These guys can play. So, these 2 guys, I like them in the 4th round. We could shore up our linebacking core if we don't get a Roquan or anything like that. With Griffin, we can go with again, we need a tight end, we need a receiver, but I say 4th round is the key round. It's a key round, that 4th round, and the 5th round is as well, because 50% of our draft is right there, 4th and 5th round. So I did a lot of investigating on this. I think at that point, depending on what happens above that, I mean, the names become a lot weaker. But Dontavius Russell, he might drop to the 5th, defensive tackle. Sky Moore. You guys mentioned him. I think he's going to be definitely on the Cowboys team one way or the other. A couple other names: Matthew Thomas, linebacker from FSU, and Byron he's a linebacker. And then we have Byron Cowart, defensive end from Auburn. Those guys are names that I think we could look at. And then later on, I'm talking about real. I mean, there's a guy named Will Clapp. I'm not even sure how good he is. He's a left guard. If we wait that long, another guy we can go in the 4th round. Dante Jackson, cornerback. Another name in case Holton Hill's not there, because I think Hill is the elite guy there. Offensive tackles in the 4th round, I look at like Okarafor. He might be there. I'm not really sure if he will be. And then running back late, Myles Gaskin. Look at that for a little speedy guy in the backfield. Change of pace. And I'm just looking here. I think that's pretty much it. I have Scott Quisenberry. I'm not sure how good he really is. Another left guard, but these are later in the rounds. And that's pretty much my wrap up on those end round, later round, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks on that side of things.
Yo, LL, watch your mouth about DEZ, man. Watch your mouth.
Yeah, I was trying to find a DEZ jersey to put on, and I couldn't find it. I think I threw it in the trash.
I went on a got 5 because
he would have done that too if I were you. I mean, that's not a bad move.
I went got 5, guys, because we got 5 right on here tonight on this roundtable discussion, debate, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to throw out all these YouTubers out there that have some great ideas and some great sites, and really share some ideas. I love a lot of these names, guys. I mean, I don't even want to repeat them because you guys already said them. So you guys took a lot of these names. I look for, if we trade down, look for like maybe in the 3rd round getting a Josie Jules, a linebacker, someone like that. If we don't get him in the 1st round, that's another name kind of you want to think about. If we do trade down and gain a pick, that could be a guy who's a Sean Lee type. I just think Botch made a good point about him being handled in open areas on running plays. We can't have that, so that would be an issue with him. Maybe he could be coached up. I don't know, but either way, I mean, there's a lot of names out there, and I think we hit on a lot of them now. I want to get some questions, but I do, before we go to the questions, I got to hear, we got to go a little bit part 2 with the DEZ debate. All right.
Hey, before we do the DEZ debate real quick, I'm letting you know that your boy Landry will probably wind up with the Washington Redskins with Alex Smith.
Somebody tell Dak Prescott throw DEZ better balls.
Well, Dak needs better protection, and that's what we're talking about here when it comes
we're gonna stop disrespecting Dak Prescott because he will bring us a ring way before Dez Bryant.
Yeah, actually, you know what? What about the Dak issue that when it comes to his feet, his placement? What do you guys have to say about that? What about Dallas Cowboy Football News? I mean, we all know that Dak's always had issues out of college coming with that, but what do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. You know, and LL, we talk on the side. Me, LL, and I do, and he brought up some points that no one talked about Dak's footwork during a 13-3 campaign. Did I phrase that wrong, LL, or is that pretty much what you say?
Well, no, I was just saying that there was definitely talk about his footwork after the draft and things of that nature, but I was just saying after we went 13-3, his footwork was definitely not a focal point of the offseason. And now that we see him miss the playoffs, I mean, everybody's ranting and raving about his footwork. And I just don't think that it's a focal point of his game that he needs to work on to be great.
Well, but he does need to work on that to be great. There was a lot of times where he overthrew a lot of our wide receivers. I mean, DJ made a point of give Dez the ball right. There was times when Dak Prescott wasn't under any duress and he's bouncing with his feet. And his arm motion, when you want to be at a right angle, you want to come up and you want to throw that thing. And with his feet bouncing, he's not setting that feet enough to get that arm motion down. And so that's when the balls tend to sell. It happened at Mississippi State. It happened sometimes in the 13-3 campaign, but they were winning. Why would you bring – I mean, there's nothing negative to talk about when you're winning. Dez Bryant said that himself.
I'm not going to sit here and bash Dak Prescott is the whole thing. The whole thing is I'm not going to sit here and bash Dak Prescott about his footwork when literally I didn't see one video dropped in the offseason after we went 13-3. That's just the truth, man. I didn't see one person drop a video in the offseason last year after we went 13-3 talking about his footwork. It's just comical to me now that we were missing Tyron Smith for, a good portion of the games. As well with Ezekiel Elliott and multiple other things, and people are talking about his footwork. How about let's talk about the continuity with Dez Bryant and the lack of.
Okay, so let's talk about this. And it's not really bashing Dak Prescott. It's called constructive criticism. And if Dak Prescott, he should know how to take that. I'm not bashing Dak Prescott at all. I'm trying to give Dak some constructive criticism. But who am I? I'm just a guy with a voodoo doll.
Look, let me put
You
it.
having voodoo doll?
No, I'm just kidding. That was
Let me hold on. Let me put
No,
it.
don't
out there.
Let me go to Space Cowboy real quick, and then we're gonna go DJ. All right, DJ. Don't worry, we're coming to you. I know you're ready to talk.
I know.
You for last, DJ. Go ahead, Space Cowboy.
I know. I'm hard on. People think I hate Dez. I don't hate Dez. I just want him to be in the best position possible to help the team out. And I think that if you're a team player, why are you not willing to take a pay cut? So you're telling me, like, oh, I'm getting paid $17 million a year, right? And you don't put up a 1,000-yard receiving season in either one of the in any one of the years that you've signed your new deal, neither a double-digit touchdown season, and you're like, oh, well, why do I need to take a pay cut? I'm still great. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Dez because I feel like a lot of people are not understanding how the Zeke Elliott suspension killed momentum for the Cowboys. We were at 5-3. We came off of a high win off of the Kansas City Chiefs, and we were going to go into Atlanta with some momentum. And then when Zeke got suspended, and I understand you had Tyron hurt and all that other stuff, that killed everything. The Atlanta game just killed our momentum. And I think that a lot of people don't harp on that enough. And I think that people want to be like, oh, well, I don't think the Zeke Elliott suspension was going to hurt us that much, but it actually did. And a lot of people
many different ways and injuries. I think you and LL actually touched on that. But DJ Crown J, throw in your 2 cents on this entire little discussion here.
First of all, how dare you say wasn't nobody talking about Dak footwork when we went 13-3? When I said the same damn thing about Dez. When nobody talking about Dez taking a pay cut when we went 13-3. Was nobody talking about his yard or production? So you're going to flip it and use it the same way on Dak how I used it on Dez? How? When you win and no one cares.
Okay, you want me to answer that right now, or you want to finish what you got to say first?
Right now.
The fact of the matter is Dak Prescott is a better tool on this team, and he's productive. Dez Bryant is not. And as a matter of fact, Dak Prescott last year and Dez Bryant had some continuity. Dez Bryant actually got to the Pro Bowl last year because Dak Prescott threw him the longest balls that he had because he averaged 15.9 yards per attempt, which is the highest in his career, which got him to the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey.
To your point,
mm-hmm.
They did have somewhat of a connection. They did have somewhat of a little bit of a spark, and you know what? It died.
Hey,
it died. It's gone.
Let me interject real quick because I want to throw out the stats. So, 2014 and 2017, Dez, I know it's going to be like, oh, but there's different quarterbacks. Let me just throw this out here. Dez had nearly the same amount of targets, okay? And he had more receptions in 2014 and much more yardage in 2014 as well, and more touchdowns. If you look and watch those games, okay, there were moments where Dez just dropped the ball out. And, and people also, and I feel bad for Dak because, and I'm not trying to say that he's perfect, but you know why he threw so many interceptions later in the season? Because he was trying to force it to his receivers because it's like, oh my God, how am I supposed to? I'm just saying, hey, is it fair to say like, oh, well, look, Dak sucks because he threw, what was it? Like he threw 5 touchdowns and how many picks? I forget. But it was like
how many times Tony Romo overthrew Dez versus how many times Dak overthrew Dez?
Crickets out there.
But let me put it to you this way. Do you think that we need to get receivers that fit Dak's play style, or do we need to work with
No.
So we need to hold on. So my question now is, are we building a team around Dez Bryant?
Oh my God. Yo.
Are we?
I put it like this way. Okay, so Dak Prescott had a 13. Okay, let me ask you this. If Dak Prescott has another bad year, he has one more year left on that rookie deal. And if he does bad again, we could be potentially building around another quarterback in here in 3 years.
What are we talking about another bad year?
I'll tell you what we're talking about. Because by the quarterback standard, he had a bad year.
Hold on.
It was a bad quarterback year.
Something. Why is Kirk Cousins about to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
He's
Because
not.
He had
He's not going to be the highest paid quarterback. Get out of here, man.
You want to bet? How much you want to bet?
How much? How much?
$500. $500.
We're trickling into LL territory right now, guys.
Hold up.
You're telling me he's going to get more than Tony Romo.
I want to hear what he has to say.
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Go ahead. Who's up next? Who's talking there? LL, finish up what you're saying, then DJ, you go next. Go ahead.
You know, it's funny to me that people sit here and talk about Dak's step backwards, and nobody, the proof's in the pudding. We were looking at the next gen stats, and he was only able to have great numbers on the right hand side of the field. Why was that? Why was that on the left hand side everything shifted? When you get back to last year when the offensive line was healthy, Dak Prescott had a better year than Carson Wentz's great year, this year. Carson Wentz's MVP year, yeah, Dak Prescott pretty much crushed that last year. I'm not talking about touchdowns. I'm talking about being consistent all over the field. You know what I'm saying? He literally fell below par in one category out of 16 qualifying categories. And you guys are going to sit here and tell me, after having Smith out, after having Lee out, after having Jeff Heath out, after having Dan Bailey out, after having Ezekiel Alley out, us being 2 games away from the playoffs, mind you, we're the only team in the NFC East who don't have a quarterback who has a losing resume in the past 2 years. Dak Prescott does not have a losing resume on his resume at all, and you guys are going to sit here and talk about he has a year left? It's a clown suit to me. It's a clown suit to me, and this is why. Because Dak Prescott is the future of this franchise. He's still playing on a $655,000 salary, and you're talking about keeping a multi-million-dollar wide receiver? That is a joke to me.
Hey, can we talk? Hey, sorry to cut you off.
Guys, one second. I want DJ Crown J to respond to this in about a 2-minute concise as possible thing. LL, let him say his piece. Space Cowboy, we're running to you and Dallas Cowboy Football News as well one more time, and then we're gonna go to the questions. But I haven't even said my piece yet on this, so I'll go after DJ and Space Cowboy.
Man, look, I need somebody to go before me because I need more than 2 minutes to respond.
All right. So Space Cowboy, go ahead, real quick, 2 minutes.
I'm surprised we're not talking about Terrence Williams. You do know he didn't have a touchdown this season, right? And we paid him a new contract for 4 years. Just saying. And I'm not trying to. And
I think Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley are 2 guys that possibly could be moved. But
let me put it to you this way: I'm not trying to. And I understand how I feel about Dez, but my thing is, I don't feel that he deserves $17 million a year. Okay, if he takes a pay cut, I'm willing to keep him stay. Okay, but my problem is I don't look. And I know DJ's getting mad because he doesn't here's my problem. Look at these stats. You're telling me that a guy who's getting paid $17 million gets 69 receptions for 838 yards and 6 touchdowns with only 8 20-plus yard plays? Are you kidding me?
There's people on our roster, and he makes up for about 10% of our salary cap. Come on, man.
Dallas Cowboy Football News. Hit me up, man. What do you think about this?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
2 minutes or under. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Just trying to roll it on to Dallas Cowboy Football News. Give us the final impression on this particular subject, and then DJ Crown is going to wrap it up on the last word on this, and then we're going to do a little chat. So go ahead.
I would love to see. I mean, to be fair. Space Cowboy, you make an excellent point. I mean, where was Cole Beasley? Where was Witten? Where was Terrence Williams? Hell, Bryce Butler, he stepped up every once in a while, 1 to 2 receptions a game, average, right? So, Tony Romo, and I'm not going to compare the two. I'm not going to bash Dak Prescott, but I'm going to tell you this. I've seen Tony Romo win without a Dez Bryant. I've seen Tony Romo spread the ball, even with the Terrence Williams, with double coverage. I've seen Tony Romo do it. Big players make big plays in big games, okay? And I want to see more from Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott. Hold on. It's my time minute. It's my 2 minutes. I see. If you want to be America's quarterback, you got to take the weight. Romo was bashed week in, week out when Romo fucked up. If Dak Prescott wants to be the quarterback on this team, he has to learn how to hold the weight on his shoulders and go in there and win. No matter who's receiver, no matter who the running back is, no matter what O-line you got. It's time for Dak Prescott going into his third year. There's no more excuses. There's no more debates.
And
put the weight on your shoulders, Dak Prescott, and go out there and win.
I agree. I'm going to touch on this as well. I want DJ to kind of say his piece now. And again, this is I see, this is a good debate, guys, because it's both sides. It's more than just a simple answer, although there's a lot of good answers that I'm hearing so far. DJ, I know you're a big Des guy, so let us know. I'll give you about 3 minutes on this one. All right, man?
All right, man. Here we go, man. First of all, let's talk about the LL said Dak had more success on the right side of the field. Well, let me tell you what happened on the right side of that field, man. Every time somebody caught that damn ball, it was a slant. They came across the middle of the field. Or it was Jason Witten, who ran out 7-8 yards. That's pity pat ball. I can do that. That's why. I can do that. But when it was time to go up that field, what happened? 13 interceptions. I'm sorry. Did Dez cause 13 interceptions? Somebody help me out. Was it all Dez? I'm lost. I don't hear nobody. Okay, moving on from there.
Now we're giving you your time. I have something to say, but we'll give you your time.
Next, winning record. Let's talk about a winning record. Cowboys went 9-7. You know what? 9-7 is 8-8 in my damn book. Okay? 9-7. Could somebody tell me what's Aaron Rodgers' record? What's Aaron Rodgers' record? Anybody know Aaron Rodgers' record?
4-1 when he's on the field. Actually, 4-2.
What was their record this year? Did Dak have a better record than Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. Oh, he did? Is Dak better than Aaron Rodgers? No, let's not talk about records. Okay? The final thing I'm going to address. You said Dak Prescott had a good year. We're not talking about no regressions. Just he had a good year because he had the most winning records in the NFC or whatever you said. And you used that, but you didn't talk about interceptions. You didn't talk about overthrown passes. You didn't talk about none of that. Dez had more yards this year than he did last year, and your excuse for that is, oh, but he was projected to have more. What does that mean? Let's talk about what really happened. He had more yards in 17 than he did 16. I don't care what he was projected to have. You talking about 16 was a better year because he averaged 15. That don't mean nothing, man. That don't mean nothing. Let's talk about the yardage. Dak Prescott got plenty of receivers to throw to out there, and half of them ran 8 slant, 9 slant, man. Dez is up the field type of receiver. We know this. And when Dez is out there in space and Dak got pressure on him, he throws it to an invisible wide receiver every time. It's over his head. Yeah. They both had bad years, man. They both were bad.
I got to
nobody complained. This year is all Dez's fault. I'm done. Microphone drop.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say. My 2 cents on this subject. I think that you guys will, again, make great points. It's a hard thing to really chop up. But here's the thing. I mean, in the end, you're going to say 1 year for Dez and see how he does and restructure. That's the realistic thing on it. But when it comes to Dez Bryant, guys, and Dak Prescott, there is something missing between them right now. All right, in my opinion, it does not mean that we stop trying with them. So Dez Bryant dropped at least 6 right in his hand passes. 6 other ones fingertip should have been caught by any good receiver, an elite receiver for sure. He did not. Okay, so those are issues he's having. He's had them. He's bobbled a lot of passes, a lot of footballs to him. Even for touchdowns, he's bobbled them. The year before that, when we were 13-3, and I did complain about Dez Bryant back then. I also complained about Dak Prescott too. He's a rookie though, and we got to keep it in perspective. You're talking about a rookie, Dak Prescott, versus who's got to be developed, who's being developed incorrectly, in my opinion, this past season by Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett, compared to Dez Bryant, who's the leader, one of the leaders on this team, vocal, passionate leader. I understand he gets crazy sometimes. The diva part, we could talk about that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that Dez should know better, and he's got to make those catches. All right, there's no excuses on that. Now, Dak Prescott, there's no excuses. Last year, when we were 13-3, he did overthrow a lot of the receivers. Bad footwork continues still. He has a lot to improve on. I think LL agrees with that. That he's a developmental quarterback in the sense of that he's still got another year or two before I say I'm out with Dak. All right, I'm still a Dak believer, and I still think Dez can improve and not improve, but get back to at least Dez style. And not only that, in another team, I think he'll excel on another team, not on the Cowboys team, because I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if he's too comfortable, but I think that'll be a different situation on a team. I think he'll actually show us up. So there's a lot of things with that situation which bother me. But in the end, all right, let's be real. In my opinion, I think that the Cowboys, Jerry Jones is going to end up keeping Dez Bryant, restructuring it in some way. Like I said, veteran minimum, and throw the 3.5 for the last couple of years of his contract. Either way, though, I do think that Dez will probably stay on the team, and Dak has to improve. Got to stop at everybody in his ear telling him to throw the ball to Dez. He's got to get himself better and maybe develop. They should have developed him a little slower. So I think I see all your guys' points, and I agree with a lot of your guys' points on both sides of the issue, on all four of you guys. So again, the whole Dak Prescott thing, Dez Bryant thing, it's still going to be determined as the next year comes on. I think they both will be on this team, and I think whatever happens with, if Dak is the reason, I think we'll see it. And if Dez is the reason, I think we're going to see it. And I'm not saying the reason for losing. I'm just saying if you see the reasons of declining in Dez, you're going to see it in this year. And with Dak, you're going to start seeing, if he can't hack it, you're going to see the real signs come out this year. If he can, you're going to see, again, his stats are still pretty good for having a bad year. For Dak Prescott, with everything that went on, and you guys discussed it in depth and detail, with the injuries, with the offensive line, with the bad play calling by Linehan and Jason Garrett not stepping in when he needed to, and not having Zeke in there, but disrupting the flow and like Space Cowboys. I mean, you guys made such great points, and I appreciate all you guys for the draft points and the Dez points, guys. The D's, we're talking about the D's, Big D, Dallas. That's where the draft is going. And I cannot wait to get down there and hook up with all you guys. We're going to meet up with a bunch of people, I'm sure, and we're going to plan for something big in Big D, guys, for the draft. We're going to wrap this thing up in a moment, but I'm going to have Fiancé jump in here, guys, to get some questions to you guys from the chat room, guys. So, Fiancé, my love, we're going to switch off here, guys. Just listen to the question and just it's kind of open discussion, guys. I'm just trying to talk over each other. Much love. Go Cowboys. Here's Fiancé.
Hey, Space Cowboys, I got a question for you too.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so first of all, thank you to everyone who's joining us here in the chat. Thank you to all of you guys for being part of our roundtable today. You guys all brought up some really good points, but I think we can all agree on one thing, which the chat was also saying. Anyone who accepts that this season was a 9-7 season, don't kid yourselves, guys. This was an 8-8 season dressed up in a pretty bow. So, which kind of leads me off into my first question. The first question in the chat. Let me scroll back. Oh boy, we got a lot of comments here. So
comments. I think I just want to just clear something up. I feel like a lot of people twist my words out and misperceive them. The fact of the matter is we went 9-7. It's not great, you guys. It's not great. The point I was making is you can't name another quarterback in the NFC East that doesn't have a losing record, period, for the last 2 years. Can I get a name, please, for a starting quarterback in the NFC East that does not have a losing record besides Dak Prescott? I mean, I'm still waiting for an answer. I never got an answer. All I got is Tony Romo throws better balls than Dak Prescott.
Look, Tony Romo is hands down a better quarterback than Dak was, but that still didn't get him as far as other quarterbacks. I mean, Eli Manning won a Super Bowl. Eli Manning is not anywhere close to what I think Tony Romo's like. So
hold on, time out. So
exactly.
your question is
Romo have for his career.
Yeah, I didn't even
hold
get
on. Your question is your question is who else has a losing record? What's your question about a losing record quarterback in the NFC East?
Name one in the division. Because
Kirk Cousins, the one that you said was going to be the highest paid quarterback.
The whole point I was making is Kirk Cousins is about to be the highest paid quarterback coming out of the NFC East with 2 losing seasons. Come on, man. Proof's in the pudding. 2 losing seasons back to back, and now he's about to be the highest paid quarterback, and everybody's over here bashing on Dak Prescott. That was my whole point.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we got to listen to this.
I understand what you're saying now.
All right, so guys, real quick, I want to go ahead and hop off with the first question. So it looks like a lot of people are just kind of wondering, is Dez more of the problem than Dak? And most people in the chat are saying that Dez is more of the problem, that Dak is, the one who's making these plays, but Dez is the one who's just not making it. So guys, I guess just as a final one-time consensus, everyone just go through, do you think that Dak or Dez is more of the problem?
I think it's both.
One. All right, go ahead. I'll wait.
If you had to pick one, let's make that clear. You got to pick one. Who is more of the problem, Dak or Dez?
I want to say it was Dez. Just because he was hurt and he didn't, he hurt the team playing hurt.
Okay, right. I'll go next. I'm gonna say Dak because Dak had more receivers than Dez, so I'm not gonna put it on him. Dak overthrew a lot of people. Dak got to see when receivers are open. That RPO was crap. Dak got to know what other guys are open. Dez not the only receiver on that team. So I'm blaming Dak. He's the captain of the ship. We can't praise him when he do right, but don't say that when he do wrong. So for me, it's Dak.
Do you want to go next, I guess? For me, it's Dez. Plain and simple. I mean, and I feel bad. Like, I want him to be great. I don't want people to get it twisted. I don't hate him. It's just my problem is if he's truly a team player, why am I giving him $17 million for the numbers he's putting up when Antonio Brown's putting up more numbers? And I understand that it's a mix of both the quarterback and the receiver connecting, but I just don't think they can do it. I'm sorry. So I think it's Dez.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't put it on one thing of Dez. I mean, if I could put it in categories, we could say lack of production. He's the number one wide receiver. We haven't had any production from him at all. Like you said, he had a higher number of reception yards, but what does that matter when he had double the targets? So it's a moot point. You know what I'm saying? He had all these targets. He had all these opportunities. Not only was it the drop passes, the lack of production, but I'm going to say it was the antics, the on-the-field antics with the Dez Bryant that's not only killing the whole team. I mean, I think Dez Bryant literally outgrew the position because he's acting like he's literally bigger than the star. He's the highest paid, wide receiver, top 3 in the league, and he's the highest paid on our team, second in guaranteed money, second highest paid overall, and he's killing us, man, all around. Cancer. Fuck cancer. Excuse the language.
All right. So just to kind of give my thoughts, I know Fiance has definitely given his. Just real quick, guys, I'm going to put a little bit more of this on Dak than Dez, and only because Dak is still this is only his second year. And as much as and again, not taking anything away from what Dez did or didn't do, but I do put a little bit more of it on Dak. Now, our next question comes from... Oh.
I say it's more on Dez. He's the veteran.
All right, well, you got to say your part. No one cares. Just kidding, guys. So real quick, Shallow Hal has our next question. He says that Dak needs a young wide receiver, a receiving tight end, better play calling, and help on the offensive line. Anything else? Now, from those things that he said, young wide receiver, receiving tight end, better play calling, help on the offensive line. Which of those 4 things do you think is the most critical that Dak needs to be successful?
That was a good comment.
Yeah, shallow Hal. So, and by the way, thank you, Shallow Hal.
That was a good comment.
Yes, he wants to know, he says that anything else. Yeah, offensive line.
And he also needs his number 1 running back to not get suspended and stay out of trouble.
Yes.
I would argue a receiving tight end because that's something we lack.
Oh my God.
No, let me explain, because I talked about this, and this is why I said we need to draft a tight end, because you want to know the issue when we go up against other teams. They know our tight ends are either blocking or they're just going to run curl routes or something. I'm not trying to say we don't have those big playmakers at the tight end position, but my argument would be that is something we lack as a team. That's why Dak struggles in some games. That's why some of the receivers couldn't get open, because we lack originality when it comes to our tight end position, like stretching the field with them.
Hold on, timeout. Doesn't Dak run a bootleg with the tight ends? I think Dak spreads the balls to the tight end more than anything, honestly. I mean, Jason Witten picked up 26 first downs on his own.
Yeah, but he picks him up, but he doesn't get very far afterwards.
But he still picked up the first down. That's all that matters.
You do know Jason Witten only has 3 20-plus yard plays as the starting tight end. That's my issue.
But you have Jeff Sweem, who is a receiving tight end, James Hanna, which arguably has the best hands in the tight end bunch.
I'm not saying it can't be that. I just think that
Scott Linehan utilize that though.
No, I would agree with you. No.
Okay.
I want to know what LL got to say about this.
Yeah. So, what do you think is the biggest need? A wide receiver, a receiving tight end, some help on the offensive line, or better play calling overall?
Honestly, this season could have been salvaged with better play calling. I think we could have been a dominant team in the playoffs with better play calling, but that wasn't the case. We turned into a pass playing team. So since we have the same coaches and I don't see much changing, I think we have to get a wide receiver and then obviously offensive lineman in the second round. I think them are the 1 and 2 positions that need to be addressed, in my opinion.
All right.
MCF, can I ask Space Cowboy something real quick?
Of course, go for it.
Go ahead.
Hey, brother. You seem kind of confused, man. I don't know. Do you want to cut Dez or get a pay cut? Because you said
you want me to clarify?
Somebody with the lack of production,
I apologize.
Dez gave out.
I apologize if I was being
The only way you want to keep him is if he take a pay cut. Well, him taking a pay cut, by your standards, you say he's not that good. So him taking a pay cut will make him better. So why would you want to keep him?
Because my thing is that right now you're paying him $17 million, okay? My argument is that I feel that based off of how much he's been producing, do you think he deserves $17 million a year? Okay. I'm not saying I never let me just clarify. What I said was if he does not take a pay cut, then you cut him. The reason why I say that is because I feel that based off of the production he's given, I feel that he would have more worth based off of that pay cut than me paying him $17 million. I know that sounds weird, but like that's how I feel. I mean,
I don't even understand.
Did you know that without Dez, we're 3-0, right?
What?
Check last year. We're 3-0 without Dez.
Hold on, hold on. Wait 1 second. We keep talking about Dez's $16.5 million cap hit, but we have a left tackle that's getting paid over $17 million, and this guy's. I mean, he can't even stay healthy. So should Tyron Smith take a pay cut too? Just a question.
Hold up. Oh, you back in?
All right, no, we got him back. We got him back. There you are.
Okay. My whole thing is that do you think? Well, number one, that's 2 different positions. Okay. So, I was about to say that doesn't matter. Now, me personally, I think that if you look at how much you're paying Tyron Smith, how much is he getting paid? Like $11 million a year? Does anybody know the exact number?
No, Tyron Smith is going to be making over $17 million.
Okay. I didn't remember the exact number. But, I mean, I feel that Tyron Smith as a tackle, and yes, his long-term depth, I would give it another year before I answer that. And I don't want to be like this whole but I agree with you. Like, if I give it 1 more year and I could see that, and I don't want it to be like that, But again, I got to see another year for Tyron Smith, considering what was it? This was the first. Well, I know last year in 2016, he was having issues, but 2017 was when it really hit the forefront. Year. Yeah, but this was the year that it more or less got, what's the word I'm looking for? Magnified in the sense.
Right. Yeah, he was really banged up this year, and you have to definitely realize that he definitely missed a lot of games. I've said this before in some of our other streams. I think he's going to be retiring in the next 2 years. Like I just don't see how his body can physically keep up. Yep. But outside of that, what Tyron Smith and DEZ Bryant have both done is, at least prior to this year, they've proven that they deserve to be paid whatever it is they're getting paid. Now, whether DEZ has earned it this year, obviously, we all have different opinions on that, but you can't deny that the man has busted his butt and earned what he's gotten now. So, guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap it up with our last question here. So once again, thank you to every single one of you guys for being out here with us. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and ask the last question, and then Fiance is going to be coming right back in just a minute, guys. So he's going to give you guys his thoughts on that. And Mr. Wright was actually the one with the question here. Oh, where did it go? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, give me 1 quick second. There we go. So He said, why don't the Rams give Aaron Donald more money since he's out playing his contract? People want players to take cuts and don't want players to hold out, but won't fault the owners. So, and again, it kind of ties into our whole payment discussion here, you know, and he also said if Dez needs to take a pay cut, doesn't that mean Jerry needs to pay Dak like a starter right now? So, guys, whoever wants to take it first, go for it, guys. Give me just a second.
Well, no, you can't pay Dak like a starter right now because, first of all, it's a rookie contract that needs to be played out. I mean, Dak signed the bottom line of that contract regardless. So, I mean, no. And then with Aaron Donald, I mean, Aaron Donald is a beast. And if Aaron Donald thinks that he deserves X amount and the Rams give it to him, then so be it. But it's up to Aaron Donald to sign that dotted line or not, no matter what the money is they offer. If he wants to sign it, he signs it. With Dez, it's almost like a DeMarcus Ware because DeMarcus Ware and Dez and the position they're in had the exact same numbers, $16 million. The Cowboys wanted to cut DeMarcus Ware's numbers all the way down to $8 million. And DeMarcus Ware said, nope, I ain't doing it. So the Cowboys said, well, bye, Felicia, right? So then Dez Bryant has the exact same almost the same situation that DeMarcus Ware did with the $16.5 million cap hit. I don't see the Cowboys asking Dez to take $8 million. I think that'll be a punch right into the mouth. I would be happy with Dez making $12 million a year.
Now, if someone else wants to take it, but I personally think that the smarter thing for Dez to do is he's earned that money. He deserves that money. But be smart, be a team player, and restructure your contract. And I hate to bring this up, but guys, Tom Brady, we know that Tom Brady has taken, lesser contracts, taken less money so that his team can sign better players and make better moves. If Dez would realistically do something where, and again, still giving him the respect, he still deserves everything he's earned. But being a team player, making some moves, if he really is serious about being a team player and being part of this team, I'm hopeful that he will at least be open to restructuring his contract and at least moving some of those numbers around.
Well, one problem I have about restructures is it's bit the Cowboys in the butt restructuring those contracts. And if you cut Dez prematurely and you restructure that contract, your dead cap money on Dez Bryant is going to be a lot more.
Foot there.
Say that again?
Sorry, I say, yeah, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot there if you do that.
Yeah, so I say either give him a pay cut or keep him.
There you go. So DJLL Space Cowboy, which one of you guys wants to go next?
I don't know. That comment is so ridiculous. I don't even have nothing to say about that.
Well, I think it's more like if you're looking at the cap itself, I personally think that if you normally like people like especially NFL players will bring like, oh, I want to get what NBA players get because the cap tends to be more the cap tends to favor the players more than it does the owners, but that's a completely different discussion for a different day. But in regards to the contracts and all that other stuff, I just think that I don't know. I mean, it's just it's a very complicated thing. I mean, if you're talking about Dez himself, I think that he doesn't deserve 17 million, but like if he's looking at, hey, I won't do 9 million, but I can do 10 or 12 million, okay, fine, that works for me. I mean, it's just if you're truly a team player, Dez, and you care about winning, then stuffing your pockets shouldn't be your number one concern. I understand you want security, don't get me wrong, but
I thought your number one concern for Dez was production.
What do you mean?
Well, you said he played like crap. I don't think a pay cut would. If he played like crap, why would a pay cut help?
Wait, no. I'm just talking about the cap itself. I'm not saying. Hold up. But I understand that my number one concern is production. But if we're talking about the cap itself and the hit, that is where That's also another problem I have.
So let me ask you this. Well, never mind. She had a question. Go ahead. I don't want to keep getting off subject, man. Go ahead.
No, I answered whatever. I finished the question.
I think LL's the only one left.
What was the question exactly? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. What was it?
Here, sorry, I gotta scroll back. Basically, if Dez needs to take a pay cut, doesn't that mean Jerry needs to pay Dak like a starter? And why don't the Rams give Aaron Donald more money since he's out playing his contract? People want players to take cuts and don't want players to hold out, but won't fault the owners.
LL?
Well, yeah, that's just, it is what it is at this point. I mean, we have who we have, and their contracts are set up for a reason. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think it's ridiculous that he's going to get as much money as he's going to get, because everybody knew it was a contract year, came into this year coming off 1.5 sack season, and now they're talking about, possibly having him as one of the highest paid defensive linemen in the league. It's unfortunate when you have the Von Millers out there and they put in the work and are you literally, putting in the work. So as far as like the Donald situation, yeah, it happens in the league. With Dak Prescott, no. I mean, literally, you guys, it's unfortunate that we're paying Dez Bryant so much money against the cap and with the lack of production. I feel like when he said that he's not going to take a pay cut, that it's like, okay, let's cut him and give him the least amount of money, period.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, LL. Finish it up.
And that's just how I feel about the whole Dez Bryant situation, man. I feel like he's a cancer.
Yeah, he's going to get us into it. Guys, we've gone over an hour. I want to do a quick wrap up with each of you guys and just tell everybody where they can find you. And then I'll wrap it up here and thank all of you guys. So go ahead. We'll go with Space Cowboy 17, man. Drop it.
Alrighty, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I sincerely want to thank my Cowboys family for organizing this. Sincerely mean it. Yeah, so Dez is a bum. No, I'm kidding. No, but in all seriousness, though, I personally think that we're looking at the draft. I think that there are a lot of needs that need to be fixed, and I think that obviously, we don't all hate each other. We all have differing opinions, but at the end of the day, I respect everyone's opinion. We may disagree, but hey, it is what it is. If you want to find me, just look up Space Cowboy 17 as a channel. I should be going live at 12 actually. So in like 10 minutes. So
sorry about that.
It's fine. No, I love doing this.
Well, we love you guys. We love you too, man. We love you guys being on here. We appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm going to move over now to the great LL, Cowboyz Legend 27.
Bam. What up, YouTube? No, I want to apologize earlier, you guys. I didn't mean to curse on your channel. I know this is family-friendly content.
It's all good. It's all good. I understand.
I apologize. Sorry about that. But no, www.cowboyslegend27.com. Obviously, sub me up on YouTube, you guys. Much love to everybody that comes through and supports and follows the stream. I'm a very different YouTuber as far as football talk is. So come through and check out the channel. You guys know what's up, man. And I have a huge announcement at the draft. So follow my channel along for that. And I'm excited for it, you guys. So much love, peace, love, and respect to everybody on this panel. And I love all you guys, man. Much love.
Oh, thank you, LL. Now, much love, guys. Everybody subscribe up to Cowboy 17. Subscribe up to LL's channel, Cowboy. He gave you the info. And make sure you subscribe to Fifth Quarter Cowboys from DJ Crown J. DJ, break it down. Tell them where you can find it and wrap this thing up here for the draft style things. Go for it.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that's got so much bad crap to say about Dez, man. Y'all guys should be ashamed of yourself, man. Fifth Quarter Cowboys, man, on YouTube. I just dropped the link in the chat. That's it, man. I don't know. I'm done.
Man, we don't hate on, you got to criticize like our next guy here said, constructive criticism, whether it's Dak or Dez, it's got to be fair. Anyways, next, Dallas Cowboy football news, guys.
Huh?
I don't know what he's talking about. I think he's talking about I don't know what he's talking. I don't know, man. Ignore those guys if they're saying we're gonna have a little stream afterwards, like a little aftermath stream. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but so definitely I know Space Cowboy 17 is doing another different kind of topic on his channel as well. So check that out if you like as well. But I will say this, guys. Let's go to Dallas Cowboy Football News. Tell them where they can find you at. Tell them all the information about yourself, and make sure wrap it up. Let us know whatever last words you want to say, bro.
Definitely. Let me just say this, guys. If God lets these Eagles win the Super Bowl, I got a reaction for you on Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube. A TV will be broken if the Eagles happen to win. Y'all think I'm playing? Tune in.
We don't want to break TVs. We don't want to break TVs. We want them to lose.
I'm breaking my TV because I don't want my TV to live letting me witness some bull crap like that, all right? So that TV's going to die, all right? But anyway, you can follow me on Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube, Dallas Cowboy Football News on Facebook. Too many outlets here. And then, guys, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to Fifth Quarter Cowboy. Subscribe to Space Cowboy. Is it 17? And then subscribe to Cowboyz Legend 27. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News. I'm coming at you. Till next time, peace, love, and respect to everybody else.
Man, that was awesome, man. Thank you all for appearing. First and foremost, thank you all for you guys for being right here on this channel. I think we're building something big here for Cowboys Nation. Myself and fiance, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for your input. Thank you for the chat. All the people in the chat in there, for the most part, we try to take most of your questions as possible. It's went a little bit over, about 15 minutes over. We're gonna have a little aftermath late night stream just for some Cowboy news, and also we're gonna have some Cowboy news, and we're gonna have a little talk about this, your comments and stuff. We can maybe address them a little closer. But I love what everyone said, and everybody here is right and is wrong to some extent, including ourselves here. So, guys. Thank you all these great channels, and I'm going to shout them out one more time. Space Cowboy 17, do not forget, subscribe up to him. Cowboyz Legend 27, do not forget, subscribe up to him. LL. DJ Crown J's channel, brand new, Fifth Quarter Cowboys, subscribe up to him. And last but not least, Dallas Cowboy Football News, DCFN. Make sure you subscribe.
What are y'all waiting on? What are y'all waiting on?
Exactly.
Go subscribe, man.
Get on there. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you all for being on here. Thank the channel. Thank my Cowboys family. You guys make it what it is as well. And never forget,
you guys.
Number one thing, guys.
Number one thing in this channel for all Cowboy Nation, guys. You know it. Go Cowboys! Woo! Yeah. Good night, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace. Good night. Go Cowboys.